This is a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, Shabana ji. I hope you're well.
Likewise, yeah. Thank you. I'm fine.
Our friends at Zee5 Global told us there's something really exciting happening, and there's a Zee5 original film that you are presenting. Film ka naam hai Mee Raqsam. बहुत ही खूबसूरत. And we'll get to the meaning of the title in a bit. लेकिन उससे पहले, this is the directorial debut of Baba Azmi, your brother. He's been a cinematographer. ने काफी फिल्मों के लिए के साथ वो जुड़े रहे हैं. Films, popular films like Beta, Mr. India, वो 7 दिन, and there's even a film called Pyari Behna. Now that of course brings me to my first question to you. As the Pyari Behna, how proud are you of Mee Raqsam?
I am extremely proud of the film, and which is why I am presenting it. It's the first film that I am presenting. In a sense, it is also a tribute to my father, Kaifi Azmi, because the values that it promotes are the values that my father believed in. Values of communal harmony, of pluralism, of inclusiveness, of father's unstinted support for his young 15-year-old daughter. So many, at so many levels, it celebrates the life that Kaifi led. In our own family, as children, Baba and I have grown up celebrating all festivals of India, whether it's Holi, Diwali, Eid, Christmas, etc. It's always been a big thing in our house. And after my father passed away, we continue to do that because it was something that my mother also valued, because our cultural heritage is very dear to us. And the film celebrates our cultural heritage.
Which is what makes it so beautiful. Now, I was watching a whole lot of interviews before I could have this chat with you. And in your chat with Anupama Chopra, that was such a beautiful one. But in that, Baba Azmi actually mentions that one of the reasons that this has taken so long, his directorial debut has taken so long, he said jokingly, it's probably because he's been lazy about it. And it made me wonder, did you foresee this, that, you know, Baba's going to make a film, he just doesn't know it yet? Were you part of this journey?
I was 100% certain. Because firstly, I've worked with Baba as director of photography in several films. And I noticed that he has a very keen eye for the actor. He's very respectful of the actor. Probably because his mother was an actor, and his wife, his sister, his mother-in-law. There are so many actresses in the family. But I used to notice that, cameramen, directors of photography tend to get very obsessed with their own frame. And they become so focused on their frame that they couldn't give a damn that it's been a very, very emotional moment for the actor. And it's probably unfair to ask the actor to do a second take. So I saw in several places that Baba would even compromise his frame if he felt that the actor had given of her best in this performance. That's a very generous thing to do. And I used to observe this. I used to also see him interacting with directors, and his directors were very, very sort of not only just dependent, but would collaborate with him a great deal. You know, there's a very famous song, Dhak Dhak Karne Laga, from Beta. Now I remember him talking about it and saying that when he came on the set, he didn't like the set at all. The director was comfortable with the set, but he said, no, this is not how I see it. And so they said, but at the last minute, what will we do? So he said, just bring stacks of hay. Just bring hay, put her into an orange sari, because I want the feeling of the sun coming out from her. And so the changes that he made were visual in nature, but they also then became the salient point of the success of these things. So there were many such instances. But Baba used to make a lot of fun of my father and me, and used to say that you all are from this art cinema chakkar, और मैं तो mainstream cinema का आदमी हूँ, और मैं तो mainstream film बनाऊंगा, and I don't believe in all your art cinema, etc. And it must have been disconcerting for my father, because he has always believed that art should be used as an instrument of social change. But you know, he was so confident कि इसकी मिट्टी इतनी गीली है कि वो अंकुर तो जरूर फूटेगा. And so inevitably the prodigal son returned. So he sort of tried 2 or 3 mainstream commercial scripts. He worked on them, and then his heart was not in it. And then this became the film. This was the story that he wanted to tell. In fact, he was so obsessed with it that he had decided to make it on an iPhone. He started with that. He said कि मुझे इसके लिए पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे, मुझे इसके लिए support नहीं मिलेगा, कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा, मैं iPhone पे बनाऊंगा film. It started from that, and then slowly it became this kind of film. But what he did, which was very courageous, is he took this young girl, Aditi Subedi, 15-year-old protagonist of the film, from the village itself, from the village Mijwan, in which my father was born. Aditi had never faced the camera before. She had never done a step of Bharatnatyam in her life. Baba had auditioned more than 100 girls in Mumbai, and they were girls from the ad world and already from films and all that. And he felt that वो जो मिट्टी की खुशबू आनी चाहिए, वो इन लड़कियों में नहीं है. And so he found Aditi in Mijwan. And given that the whole film is around her, it's a very big risk to take a girl who has never faced the camera and has never done a step of Bharatanatyam. But give it to the girl that she came to Mumbai and she would rehearse for 6 to 8 hours every day. Her legs would become like, like khambas. इतना 15 साल की बच्ची मतलब कितनी मेहनत कर सकती है वो. But then look at how wonderful she is. And I mean, she's being praised by by Amir Khan, by Vidya Balan, by everybody. I mean, for her, what can be bigger? It's fantastic. Really fantastic.
It truly is. It truly is. I had one more thing actually जो मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती थी फिल्म के मेकिंग के ही बारे में. आपने एक इंटरव्यू में बताया 2-3 days back कि नसीर साहब had a very weak back. फिल्म की शूट पर मिजवान आने से पहले उनकी कमर की काफी जबरदस्त हालत थी. But then he's there, he's in the trailer, we watched him. Can you tell us वो कैसा रहा उनके लिए वो माहौल? How was he able to manage?
You see, I was very nervous because he was laying flat in bed, and till the last minute we didn't know whether he would be able to make it on those dates. And those dates were fixed because it was around Aditi's school. She was in school, and we could not change the dates. But I don't know, somehow Baba just went into a Zen-like composure, and he said, "Sab theek ho jayega, Abba ki blessings mere saath hain, kuch galat nahi hoga." And then Naseer made this long journey to Mijwan, lying flat on his back in the car, and Ratna, his wife, accompanied him. And then, I don't know, something happened. Mijwan has this magic. The fact that it was Kaifi Saab's village, and Naseer was staying in Kaifi's house, and that the house in which Kaifi was born is next to the house that we are now in. So, I mean, he almost treated it like a pilgrimage. And then I think he was very delighted to see the work that we've been doing in Mijwan. We have an NGO that my father started called Mijwan Welfare Society, which focuses on the empowerment of the girl child. And so he was very excited by that, and very excited also by the fact that it's a small village, but it has pakki sadkein hai, development hai. The people over there were so thrilled that they were shooting there. So I think he just enveloped it. And what is even more marvelous is that he's done such a stunning performance when he hates the kind of person he plays in the film, because he's a very liberal, progressive man. And here he plays this horrible, obscurantist person, and he does it with such conviction.
Yes, that is so true. And I thought I would do a fun little game with you for our audiences. wherein I'm going to actually give you the English translations of some of your movie titles, and let's see if you can guess them. Are you game, Shabana ji?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. Now this is actually something that you were referring to अभी थोड़ी देर पहले. तो ये पहला वाला टाइटल जो मैं आपको दे रही हूँ, इसको इंग्लिश में हम कहेंगे upbringing.
परवरिश.
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल सही. Next one, just one mistake.
एक ही भूल.
Yes. अच्छा ये वाला बताइए. That manly thing.
मर्दों वाली बात. लेकिन एक मैं मजेदार बात आपको बताना चाहती हूँ कि मैं बाबा से हमेशा कहती थी कि ये आपने मी रक्सम ही ये टाइटल क्यों रखा है. मुश्किल टाइटल है, फारसी में है, तो ये क्यों. तो वो मुझे कहते थे सोचो अगर मैंने फिल्म का नाम रखा होता था मैं नाचूंगी तो कोई देखने जाता क्या फिल्म. And he is absolutely right. There is, Mee Raqsam really arouses your curiosity. And it was very interesting. In the film industry, the only person who knew what Mee Raqsam meant was Abhishek Bachchan, because his father, Amitabh Bachchan, had danced on a song in which he had said Mee Raqsam. So सिर्फ अभिषेक बच्चन को मालूम था इसके माने क्या हैं.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Shabana ji. And lastly, आपका message for our audiences.
देखिए मुझे बहुत आप लोगों से मुझे बहुत सारे कमेंट्स मिलते हैं, बहुत अप्रिसिएशन मिलता है, उसका बेहद शुक्रिया. आई वैल्यू इट ग्रेटली. और आप हमेशा मुझे ये बोलते हैं कि अब उस तरह की फिल्में क्यों नहीं बनती जिस तरह की फिल्में आप कर चुके हैं. लेकिन ये सही नहीं है. अगर आप आज का मौसम देखेंगे तो बिल्कुल अलहदा किस्म की फिल्में बन रही हैं. और ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म की वजह से कंटेंट इज किंग इज बिकमिंग मोर इनटू फोकस. तो फिर अगर आप बेहतरीन सिनेमा देखना चाहते हैं तो आपको उसको सराहना भी पड़ेगा. तो मी रक़्सम जरूर देखिए, उसको लाइक करिए. इसकी वजह से और बहुत सारी अच्छी कहानियां, मुझे आपसे बहुत उम्मीद है कि आप इसको सराहेंगे इस फिल्म को.
हमारी मिडिल ईस्ट ऑडियंस के साथ इतनी अच्छी बातें शेयर करने के लिए थैंक यू शबाना आज़मी. दैट वाज ब्यूटीफुल. ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट फॉर मी रक़्सम.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
City 1016.